Hey there. So today I want to talk about a conversation that I've been having with prospects and clients over the past few months. And that conversation is about the fact that they have tried cold email, and despite them following cold email best practices, they still didn't generate any results. And most of the time, they jump to the conclusion that cold email does not work, or even worse, that cold email does not even work at all. And that's a mistake because saying cold email doesn't work is like saying talking to your prospect doesn't work. At the end of the day, cold email is just a way, a tool for you to communicate with your clients. And if done properly, you're going to get results. And so to do it properly, you have to understand the psychology of sending a cold email and the human dynamics that are happening in the background when you send a cold email. And today I'm going to address that. I'm going to show you how you can address your prospect so that they would respond when you send a cold email. Right, so let's dive into it. So, first of all, for those who are wondering what's my experience like, or maybe none of you are wondering, but let's pretend that some of you are. So, basically, I created my lead generation agency back in 2019, and we've worked with well over 200 clients since we started. We've worked with large enterprise such as IONOS, but also SMBs such as Control Core, Networked, Fleeter, Instamatic, and so on. And so what we've seen is that it's like it's always possible to make cold email work in any industry and for any clients, provided that obviously you have a product that people want. But essentially, for most companies that have existing clients, cold email is definitely going to work for you. Of course, first of all, you need to understand the basics of cold email, like how to build a solid email infra, how to use pin tags, how to use AI to personalize your message. But today's video is not about the basics. Today's video is for people that already understand cold email best practices and that want to go a step further and understand sort of like the psychology behind sending a cold email. And so whenever you are sending cold emails, you need to understand that you are talking to people that, first of all, don't know you. They have never heard of you before. They don't trust you, of course. And most importantly, they probably don't even want to hear from you because they are busy with their life, they have enough things to do, and the last thing that they want is probably to read an email from somebody that's they don't know and that they've already received 20 of these emails in the week. So what you need to do in as few words as possible is to first of all grab their attention and gain their trust to a degree. It's not possible to get that trust in 3 lines, but you need to earn the right to gain the trust. And so to get there, there are a series of rules, let's say, starting with the 5-second rule. So it's not something that you could find online. It's just something that I created myself. But essentially, within 5 seconds, you need to be able to grab people's attention. So the prospects need to understand right away why you're reaching out to them and what they can get from replying to you. What's in it for them, why they should reply. So you need to be 1% clear and use very clear messaging, avoid unnecessary fluff. The second rule, and that's probably the most important one, is to understand the principle of reciprocity, aka sharing value. What most people do when they send a cold email is that they are talking about themselves, how great they are, about their guarantees, stuff like that. And they forget that to get people's trust, you first need to share a little bit. You need to share value first. And if you're able to share value instead of just asking for a meeting right away, then you are already different from 96% of the people that send a cold email. And so you're going to differentiate yourself on that. The most important thing when you send a cold email is to get a response. It's not to get a call. The goal for you is to get a response. So what you can do is share something that has value to the prospect. And so the best thing, the most optimal thing that you can do is share something that your competitors would charge for. For instance, if you run a meta ads, let's say, sharing 3 visuals that they could use, or that their brand could use in the next advertising campaign would have great value to your prospect, and that would be a no-brainer. Like if you say, okay, can I share 3 visual that you can use in your next campaign? Most people are gonna say yes, and so that's your foot in the door. And then from there, you can build, gain that trust, show that you're the expert. The third rule is about the fact that you need to keep it conversational and low commitment. So that goes back to the other point about sharing value. Thing is, you need to start a conversation here. So the goal is to it shouldn't feel like a sales pitch. It should feel like you're genuinely trying to help them. And the last rule is to share as much like social proof as possible to gain credibility, and that also goes back to getting the trust. So if you can mention actual companies that you work with, if you can also share companies that have similarities with the company that you're reaching out to, that's even better. And make sure to mention actual metrics and how you've helped them, opposed to just name dropping or being vague. Being vague is probably even worse than not mentioning any company at all. So yeah, building credibility is also super important, and that's going to help you achieve and get more responses. So yeah, if I had to summarize these 4 points, the whole point of a cold email is to, first of all, start a conversation and show the prospect that you can generally help them through sharing value first. And once you've gained that trust and they understand that you are the expert here, that's when the sale can happen. And to illustrate what I've been talking about here, I wanted to show you like a decent cold email that you can use. It's a super simple cold email, but quite efficient. So here it is. I'm going to read it out first, and then I'm going to explain why it is good. So, hi, first name. I was not sure I should contact you or relevant colleague's name about this. We've helped direct competitor generate 18 qualified leads in March, and we could do the same for you on a pay-per-qualified lead basis. I've created a list of 300 of your relevant ICP. Can I share it with you? Okay, so now if we go back and analyze this email line by line, on the first line here, we're mentioning a name of a relevant colleague. And so basically, for instance, if we are reaching out to CEO, we can mention the CMO's name or the COO's name, for instance, whatever most relevant title might be. And here it basically shows that we've made some research about a company before reaching out to them, and it helps to add more of a human touch to the email. Second line here, which is the value proposition, we mentioned the name of one of the direct competitor, if you've worked with one, of course. And so basically, they're going to be able to identify that company because they have a similar model to theirs, and they can see that you've already helped this direct competitor generate 18 leads in March. So they're going to think that, okay, if they've done that for my competitor, maybe they would be able to do it the same for me. And here, this is just our own value proposition. We help companies generate meaning on a pay-per-qualified lead basis, which means that they only pay if we actually book a call with a qualified prospect for them. And so here it makes it some sort of a no-brainer offer where they can they have nothing to lose here basically. So that helps to obviously get people attention. And the last line, which is also the call to action or the CTA, is about us sharing value with them to show them that we're for real. So we share a list of 300 decision maker in their ICP that they could already reach out to, that they could talk to before even working with us, so that they can see that our data is super good. And so here again, it's a no-brainer. They have nothing to do. So worst case scenario, they gain a list of 300 people in their ICP that they can reach out to. So that also helps to get a response. And from that response, then we can sort of like start to communicate with them, build on that, and then gain the trust and probably book a meeting. And so yeah, if you have any questions about this and about what I've been talking about, feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn, for instance. And yeah, have a great day, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now.